Hey everybody, how's it going? We're gonna show off some more stuff that was added in the new version of Mushroom Kingdom Fusion, version 0.875, revision A. You can see I'm in the store as Roll because I'm gonna go to the sub-items and show off there's a bunch of new Robot Master weapons to purchase. We've seen all of these before, but if we go to the arrow over here, we can bring up some of the newer ones that have been added, like the Strike Chain we saw, Copy Vision, which was Astro Man's Robot Master weapon from Mega Man and Base. But you'll see the Shadow Blade, the Bubble Lead, the Hard Knuckle, the Rolling Cutter, the Silver Tomahawk, the Napalm Bomb, the Screw Crusher, and the Rebound Striker are now all in the store and available to use as the Mega Man characters. These were all Arthur's Robot Master weapons back before we got the Gemini Man Armor. We can find a couple new weapons in here too. We've seen the Thunder Beam and the Homing Torpedo before, but the new weapons here are the Ballade Cracker. I believe this was Ballade's weapon from the Game Boy Mega Man games. It says it's an explosive that can be fired in any direction and damages armored enemies. And the Grab Buster, which is Mercury's weapon from Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. That's the little spark shots that can take health, ammo, and cherries from you when you're fighting him. Speaking of Arthur, he actually has a new ability. It's particularly with his gold armor on. I remember mentioning it before, but in the Ghouls and Ghosts games, Arthur could use magic when he had his gold armor, and now he can kind of use magic. He has the same charge up as he does, but when you release it, he fires this shot. This shot is the Psycho Cannon, which was the weapon Arthur gets when he uses the Goddess Bracelet. It originally appears in Ghouls and Ghosts as the Psycho Cannon, and is given to Arthur by the Goddess of Battle. And then in Super Ghouls and Ghosts, he gets a very similar attack when he collects the Goddess Bracelet. And as you'd expect from being a charged attack, it's actually Arthur's strongest weapon, just like it was in the Ghouls and Ghosts games. From what I've tested it on most enemies, it does big damage to bosses, and can take out even some armored enemies in one shot. Since it can pass through walls, you can also hit enemies on that side too. So yeah, and of course, you can still fire it in any direction. Another neat thing they added is Luigi has a new power-up. Actually, you have it on right now. It's the Propeller Suit from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. How does it work? You jump, and then in mid-air, if you perform an up and mid-air jump, Luigi will perform a spinning jump into the air, and he floats down. And the power-up is this, the Propeller Mushroom from New Super Mario Wii. I just lost it there, jumping into the Roto Disc. But I have a spare one, so I can just put that one on. And you can still obviously do the flutter jump as Luigi, but with this outfit on, you can actually give yourself a ton of distance and such with big long jumps. You can see I can spin up here. Of course, you slow fall when you're spinning back down. And it'll let you get over obstacles and other enemies. And you get a little bit of extra height when you bounce off of enemies from a stomp. Though I don't think it has the same properties as Mario's spin jump, so you can't still stomp on enemies like that sumo brother up there. So yeah, you still got to be careful with the propeller suit when you're jumping. Yeah, you can see you can clear some good distance with it. There's even a new revamp of one of the playable characters, that being Link. And while he's not a new character, they've completely changed the way Link controls and plays in Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. You'll see I have the Magic Wand, as well as the Megaton Hammer. This version of Link actually doesn't change costumes like his original version, and he controls a little different. I don't actually run with this Link, he just kind of moves at a brisk pace. You can double jump when you have the equipment for it. You see I picked up a bomb there, and I'll show this off. By pressing shoot, you throw Link's sub-weapons, and if you hit the reserve button, you can switch between them. Now I have the bow, the the Deku leaf. I believe this was from Breath of the Wild. If you use it, it shoots a tornado out that can damage enemies. And you see I have the Megaton hammer, but there are other weapons that Link can use. You can see I can charge up. You'll see when I charge up and release, Link swings the hammer like that. Knocks enemies away, kind of like a Wario's charge attack. Here's another interesting thing. If I hold up, Link holds his shield up. You actually don't start with a shield as this Link. I'll show off all his moves in the store in a moment. You'll see here I can upgrade his shield. So there's actually 3 tiers of shield you can get with Link. With it going from the Deku shield, the shield he's got now, which is the Hylian shield, and then the Mirror shield, which even has the same pattern that it had in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. While I'm here, I might as well show off all of Link's sub-weapons. First, he has Bomb Chews, which they travel along surfaces and then hit enemies and explode. This one's pretty neat. It's a bottled bee. Just like in A Link to the Past, you can release the bee and it'll fly around and follow Link and attack enemies. Yeah, the double jump thing I have is from an item I picked up called the Rock's Cape. That's actually one of Link's power-ups. Here's an interesting one. It's a fire bat. At first I thought, what is this? And then I tried it. That's the flame bat that Ganon attacks you with in The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Next we have Link's slingshot, which works kind of like the bow. You can aim it up and down like the bow. When you fire, it'll bounce off of platforms and such. I think the closest thing I can compare it to is if Yoshi were a playable character and you could throw eggs. So I picked up some more fire bats from the Goomba there. There's the boomerangs, which function just like they did originally. You can aim them in any direction, they come back to you, but it uses them up. We got bombs, which you throw a bomb and it'll blow up an enemy. You got the bow and arrow, which still functions the same. You shoot an arrow, you can stand on the arrow to get on ledges and such. You can fire them up and down, just like before. Alright, so I'm back in the store. I'm going to show off all of Link's items here. It shows the player can't use the mushroom item. The mushroom item would actually be the Master Sword for Link, since the only item he starts with on a new life is the wooden sword. But the first time you find a power-up, it'll be the Master Sword, which lets Link shoot energy beams from the sword when he has full health. Speaking of which, I'll buy that for him right now. Anyway, the Rock Cape is his Super Leaf equipment. Lets you do that double jump I was showing off, as well as gliding and by holding jump while you're in the air. So it basically gives you a bit of a glide. I also have the Megaton hammer, which I actually found in one of the levels. Replaces the Master Sword with this and can harm armored foes, and you can break blocks with the hammer. Here's his shields. This equips Link with his shield or upgrades to the higher tier. Shields come in 3 tiers. The wooden shield, like the Hylian shield, and the mirror shield, like I mentioned. And the higher tier shields can protect you against bigger projectiles. The golden sword, I think, was from Majora's Mask. It was called the Gilded Sword in that game, and lets you do an overhead swing by holding run, and you fire beams while at full health. Actually, no, the Golden Sword is from Link to the Past. That's the fully upgraded Master Sword. Next is the Buster Sword, which was Link's soldier suit in the original version of him, which this time Link just gets the Buster Sword, and like expected, it's a much bigger and stronger sword than his other ones. His Mega Man power-up is now the Sword Man sword. This will change Link's sword to the weapon Sword Man from Mega Man 8 uses, and it fires a fire trail when you have full health. And last he has the Protoss Psyblades. This is his sci-fi weapon. This will replace his sword with the dual energy blades used by the Protoss in StarCraft, and allows Link to do repeated stab attacks and deal high damage. It does come with the sci-fi shield as well, which is pretty neat. Now, while I'm here, I might as well show this off. Link can swing up and down. Holding down makes him do kind of a dive attack. Now, if it were up to me, I'd probably give Link back the down stab at the very least, though I do like the upward swing he does. On the character select screen between Classic Luigi and Vile is the original version of Link that was in the previous versions of Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. And it mentions here how he's now referred to as Suit Link. And yeah, he plays basically the same way as Link did in every previous version of Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. But up here, you'll notice there's some kind of new item blocking my way up here. You'll see that like black lock-looking thing. If I go to it, it says, I need one world key to pass. This means that after Rift Valley, you have to actually go to a different world and defeat a different world boss before you can progress. What this means is I can't get to Bowser or get to the Yellow Switch Palace or any of the levels blocked by the yellow spade blocks on the world map until I complete a different world. So that's a new change. So yeah, I'll probably work on that, and in the next part I'll check out some of the new levels in the game, and I'll show those off to you. But for now, this will be the end of this part, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.